आवाज नहीं आ रही। सर आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही।
हेलो
हाँ सर आवाज आ रही है।
हेलो
हाँ सर।
हाँ सर।
Am I audible? Hello.
हाँ यस सर, बोलिए।
Okay. Okay. Till now, what I have, it's my fault that I have not unmuted myself and gave I think the 5 to 10 minutes of lecture. Okay. Starting from the what we have discussed yesterday about the overview of the introduction of solid state physics of semiconductor devices, and after that we'll try to cover it, the diodes, the energy bands, what the diodes, the BJTs, and the MOSFETs, their configuration, their VI characteristics, and all. So today, what I would like to start with that the introduction to the semiconductor physics. And for that, you might all have knowing that the atomic structure. What is atomic structure? Anna, the atoms. If we are if I want to cover it all, what do you mean by the atoms? The atoms composed of the nucleus, in which nucleus that there is a proton and the neutrons, and in the outer shell of those that nucleus you will see the electrons. ठीक है? तो न्यूट्रॉन्स में जो प्रोटॉन्स होते हैं दैट इज पॉजिटिवली चार्ज पार्टिकल्स, एंड द न्यूट्रॉन जो होता है वो हमारा न्यूट्रल होता है, एंड द इलेक्ट्रॉन्स क्या होते हैं हमारे नेगेटिवली चार्ज होते हैं, एंड दैट दोज आर प्रेजेंट इन द आउटर ऑर्बिट्स ऑफ द न्यूक्लियस ऑफ द एटम्स, है ना? एंड व्हाट इज द वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन्स? That we have seen that each and every atom has the outer shells in which the electrons are positioned according to their distribution, that like 2, 8, 8, 18, and like that. 2, 8, 8, 18 means that the orbit which is the orbits which are present around the nucleus that have got the stable amount of what? Electrons. So I'm just jotting it out that electrons are distributed in various shells at different distances from the nucleus. Okay, that nucleus is present in between, and after that those the ring shell, the shells are present around those around that nucleus. The various shells are there, and the electrons are positioned on those shells. Okay, the electron energy increases as shell radius increases. Likewise, the energy level, how its energy will be increased, because the electrons which are present near to the nucleus, that will be very much bound to the nucleus, that will not be in the condition to get away from the nucleus and start conducting. So as the radius of these shells increases, they are bound, not they are bound, they are free to conduct the electricity or the current in which in the circuits. Electron in the outermost shell are called valence electrons. The outermost shell that you have seen always, those electrons are called valence electrons, and the band is also called the valence band. Okay, the elements in the periodic table are grouped according to the number of valence electrons. I have told yesterday also that the group 4, the group 3, the group 5, the group 6 elements means that the how much number of electrons are present in that outermost shell of that atom. That is why they are grouped according to that. Okay, these are the valence electrons. It is given the a portion of periodic table in which the group 3rd, group 4th, and group 5th is shown. Group 4th is in what is it? The carbon, silicon, germanium. That means that the outermost shell of the carbon or the silicon or the germanium has what? The 4 electrons. Only 4 electrons are present in the outermost shell of these 3 elements. What is the carbon, silicon, germanium? Likewise, in the third, in the left side, you can see that the boron, aluminum, and gallium. This means that they have only 3 electrons in the outermost shell. Okay, and in group 5, you can see this arsenic and phosphorus. You can see that this means that the phosphorus and the arsenic has only 5 electrons in their outermost shell. So what are the electrons present in the outermost shell? That defines the group of that element. Okay. Now, the elemental and the compound semiconductor. We will be seeing that there's a direct band gap and the indirect band gap semiconductor. Okay. Now, the silicon only and the germanium only, which are the elements or the atoms or elements of group 4 in the periodic table, they are called the elemental semiconductors. Okay. Likewise, the gallium arsenide, which is a group of group 3 and group 5 compound, it is called compound semiconductor. And these compound semiconductor will be used as a direct band gap semiconductors. When we will see, or you will see in the electronics engineering subject about the LEDs, है ना, where the absorption or the emission or the spontaneous or stimulated emissions type of things we will be studying. These gallium arsenide compound semiconductor, or gallium arsenide or gallium indium arsenide, like this is the binary. Gallium arsenide means two elements have been combined each other, and like gallium indium arsenide is all called the ternary. Okay. Likewise, we have compound semiconductors which are used in direct band gap semiconductor portions that will be covered by me or the electronic engineering teacher. Okay. Now, silicon crystal, you can see that. At the room temperature or at the 0 Kelvin. 0 Kelvin means minus 273 degrees centigrade. Each electron in its lowest possible energy state and each covalent bound is positioned in field. Means that what is their actual position of the element, that each and every energy state will be in its lowest possible condition. Means you have not applied any uh, external force or external uh, what I can say, that potential to get these electrons excited and to start conducting. And the covalent bond will also be like, is it what is the means, what I can say, that जैसे वो पहले से है वैसे ही का वैसा कंडीशन रहेगा. ठीक है. अब जो next, when we apply external force or external potential to these elements, what happens, that electrons will get excited. After gaining this energy, the electrons will be getting excited, and they will start moving here and there freely, है ना, which will help in conduction of the current. Okay. If a small electric field is applied, the electrons will not move. मतलब, है ना, if the small electric field or small potential is applied, है ना, it does not guarantee that the electrons present in those elements or the atoms will be moving. So at that point, it will be called as the insulator, because if there is no conduction of current, if there is no movement of the electrons, that means what? There is no conduction by the silicon or the germanium or the any of the crystals. That means that simply means that element or that compound, that material is insulator. Now you can see that the silicon atom diagram at the 0 degree Kelvin, in which you can see that all the silicon atoms, all the silicon atoms are tightly packed. They are
हेलो सर, शेयर किए हैं.
hello.
हाँ सर, दिखा नहीं रहे कुछ.
Huh? Hello.
नहीं, कुछ मतलब दिखा रहे हैं अपने लैपटॉप पे.
I have shared a PPT. You can see that or not?
No, sir.
Yeah, I have shared a screen. You have logged in yourself through mobile or through laptop or what? You just go to you just go to the speakers view into your laptop or what. If you are using the mobile, you can go to your speakers view. There only you will see the shared content. Huh? Just a minute. I'm just retrying once again.
ओके सर.
Hello, are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
हाँ सर अब आ रही है.
अब आ रही है? Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay, what I was telling that where is? Let me go to that. Now you can see this slide. Hello, or now?
हाँ सर.
Okay. Okay. Now, if you are seeing that these are the silicon atoms which are tightly packed and covalent bonded from all the four sides, means what? They are in the stable position. This crystal, the silicon atom, you can see that the covalent bonds. What I said that the silicon atoms which have got only 4 electrons into that into their the outermost shell, and to get themselves stable they need 4 more, है ना? 2, 8, 8, 18, like that. You have the you have been given, yeah, you will be knowing that in your chemistry classes, that to make an atom the stable, the covalent bonding is done so that it could be made stable. That is why you can see that silicon atoms that they are tightly packed and with 8 electrons now into the outer shells. Likewise, the adjacent one also has got 8 electrons. The next to that, the other silicon atom, they are also getting the 8 electrons. Likewise, this at the 0 degree Kelvin, the silicon atom diagram is like this only. They are tightly packed, they are covalent bonded. Hai na? This is the two-dimensional representation of the silicon crystal. Now, intrinsic silicon, if the temperature increases, the valence electron will gain some thermal energy and breaks free from the covalent bond. It leaves a positively charged hole. Means what? I can say that अगर हमने इस पे थोड़ा सा टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज किया, है ना, अगर हमने इस सिलिकॉन एटम का टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज किया, तो क्या होगा? दिस कोवेलेंट बॉन्ड विल ब्रेक आउट, एंड कोवेलेंट बॉन्ड विल ब्रेक आउट the electrons which are helping out in making this covalent bond will act as a free moving particles. Okay, now this free moving particles will do what? They will move freely here and there and start conducting electricity or electric current. It is written in that if the temperature increases, the valence electron will gain some thermal energy and breaks free from the covalent bond. तो क्या होगा? अच्छा, अब यहाँ पे क्या हुआ? जब हमने टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज किया तो इनकी जो कोवेलेंट बॉन्ड है वो दैट इज ब्रेक्ड आउट. उसके बाद क्या हुआ? दैट इज ब्रोकन आउट. उसके बाद क्या हुआ कि इलेक्ट्रॉन्स उस कोवेलेंट बॉन्ड की जगह से फ्रीली मूव करने लगे. तो वहां बचा क्या? एक स्पेस बच गया. दैट स्पेस इज कॉल्ड होल और द पॉजिटिवली चार्ज स्पेस, हम ये भी कह सकते हैं. ठीक है, वही चीज इसमें यहाँ पे लिखा है. इट लीव्स अ पॉजिटिवली चार्ज होल. In order to break out from the covalent bond, a valence electron must gain a minimum energy. अब वो minimum energy क्या है? That is a band gap. Band gap energy. That is band gap energy in between what? The valence band and the conduction band. Valence band और conduction band के बीच में एक band gap होता है. अगर उतनी energy valence band के electrons को मिल गई तो क्या होगा? That valence band electrons will move from that valence band to what? The conduction band. और पीछे क्या छोड़ जाएंगे? अपने एक स्पेस. वो स्पेस क्या होगी? पॉजिटिवली चार्ज होल की स्पेस. ठीक है, ये आपका सिलिकॉन एटम डायग्राम एट एम्बिएंट टेम्परेचर. मींस we have applied some more increase in the temperature to the silicon atom. You can see that the covalent bond is broken here and the electron is moving freely. So what it leaves behind? The positively charged hole. The space is called the positively charged hole, since earlier the electron was filling up this space. Through what? The negatively charged electrons was filling up this space. Now the negatively charged electron is free to move here and there. So what it leaves behind? The positively charged hole. Or we can say our space is left behind, and we can assume that the space has got the positive charge, because the negative charge is automatically gone here and there. That is what is left here, the positive charge space. Insulators and conductors, the materials that have large band gap energy, means the gap between the valence band and the conduction band, if it is in the order of 3 to 6 electron volts, that is what it is called, what, the insulators. Means if we apply more number of energy, but the electrons present in the valence band is not getting so much of energy to jump into the conduction band. After applying some more energy, they are called what? Insulators. Means there essentially no free electrons exist in that material. Okay, the material that contains very large number of free electrons at the room temperature, these are called conductors. Means what we can say, the valence band and the conduction band in the conductors, they overlap each other, and we have seen that, or we know that the electrons present in the atoms, or what, the outer shells, they are called the valence electrons, they are called the free electrons. So when the valence band itself is overlapping with the what, with the conduction band, that means the free electrons present in the valence band is also present in the conduction band, है ना? They automatically are able to conduct the electric current, or the conductivity is very much high in that conductors and the insulators. Sorry, not the insulators, in the conductors. Okay, now the semiconductors. In a semiconductor, the band gap energy is in the order of 1 electron volt. You can see that in the insulators we have seen it is in the order of 3 to 6 electron volt. That is very much high in respect to what, the 1 electron volt. है ना? So in a semiconductor, the band gap energy is in the order of what, 1 electron volt. The net flow of free electrons causes a current. Yeah, you have studied since your class 5th or class 6th or class 7th, 8th, that the electrons movement allows what, the flow of current. So if 1 electron volt of energy is applied to the semiconductor devices, the valence band electrons will move into what, into the conduction band, and they will conduct the current, or they will help in the conductivity. In a semiconductor, two types of charged particles contribute to current. Yesterday also in the overview I have given that there are two charged particles, majority carriers and minority carriers, that will be helping in the carrying out the conduction of the current inside a material. So in a semiconductor, two types of charged particles contribute to current: the negatively charged electrons and the positively charged holes. How this positively charged holes are conducting the current in the semiconductor, that we will see when we will jump into what, the PN junction diode. We will see the two types of currents are there: the diffusion current and drift current. How these are managed, how these are conducted, we'll see elaborately in those coming up portions of the subject. Now you can see that the movement of holes here in this this is a silicon atom, a silicon crystal, in which silicons are very much tightly packed. At some amount of energy that is in the order of 1 electron volt, that is in the order of the forbidden energy gap, is provided to this atom or the crystal. What will happen? The electrons which are present in what, this covalent bond, that will break out. That will the covalent bond will break out, and the electrons present in that covalent bonding will move freely here and there. Okay. Now, hello. The electrons will move freely here and there, which will help in conduction of the current. You can see that from this if you are seeing my cursor, when the covalent bond between this silicon and this silicon is broken out, what will happen? The electron will move out freely from this covalent bond, and there it will leave the positive space there. That is moving out here in the left side. That is moving out what, electrons. There it will again form a covalent bond with with this silicon atom. Now here it has become the negatively charged. फिर from here, from this covalent bond, the sufficient amount of energy has, if it has got a sufficient amount of energy from this position also, the electrons will come out after breaking of the covalent bond, and it will move to the left. It is moving to the left, and like this, the electrons are moving from one covalent bond to another, one covalent bond to another, one covalent bond to another. That means they are moving from their valence band to the conduction band, and leaving behind what? The holes. Means electrons are moving in the left side and the holes are moving in the right side. It is actually, the holes are actually not moving, but the movement of electron shows that the holes are also moving in the opposite direction of the electrons. Okay. Now the semiconductor constant. The concentration of electrons and holes directly influence the magnitude of the current. That means it is there. The large the number of electrons, the free electrons present in any of these materials will make it more conductive, and that will help into the increase in the magnitude of the current also. In an intrinsic semiconductor, the densities of holes and electrons are equal. It is very much fine, because when the covalent bond is broken in the intrinsic semiconductor, means it is a pure semiconductor without any doping, without any external impurities is added, the intrinsic semiconductor. So in the intrinsic semiconductor, when the covalent bond is broken up, what is there? The electrons which are moving out from the covalent bond, if one electron is moving out from the covalent bond, or the two electrons are moving out from the covalent bond, that will leave what? The positive space of the same number. Two electrons are moving out from the covalent bond, leaves only two positively charged space, है ना? That is why we can say that in an intrinsic semiconductor, the densities of holes and electrons are equal, because we have not added any impurity, we have not doped any one of the semiconductor devices. That is why they are very much pure, and whatever energy we are providing it to the semiconductor material, the covalent bond is broken, and the electrons which are moving out of the covalent bond, the number of electrons which are moving out from the electrons will leave the same number of positively charged space behind. So we can say that the density means the number of holes and the number of electrons are equal. This mathematical expression we'll discuss in the next class. Right now, okay, the extrinsic semiconductor or the doping. The electrons or holes concentration can greatly be increased by adding the controlled amount of certain impurities. We add the impurities to uh, to uh, to help out in increasing the conductivity or decreasing the conductivity of the semiconductor device, जो भी हमें जैसा भी हमें चाहिए हो. ठीक है ना? हमने लास्ट कल ये भी बताया था, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स में it is a decision making property is there in the electronic devices or the electronic circuits. That is why we can use the doping property or the impurities to be added into these semiconductors to make it more conductive or the less conductive, whatever is suitable for us to implement any of the circuit problems or solutions. Okay, so the electron hole concentration can greatly be increased by adding controlled amount of certain impurities. We have discussed yesterday that to make it N-type semiconductor, we are adding the pentavalent uh, doping, and to make it the P-type semiconductor, we are using trivalent doping. Means group 5 and group 4 elements are used to dope these semiconductor devices to make it a P-type or N-type. In the next line, you can see that for silicon, it is desirable to use impurities from the group 3 and group 5. Means group 5 elements, when they are mixed up with this semiconductor, the intrinsic semiconductor, they are making it N-type semiconductor. And group 3 elements are when they are added as a doping to the intrinsic semiconductor, they are called the P-type semiconductor. In the next line, you can see an N-type semiconductor can be created by adding phosphorus or arsenic. These phosphorus and arsenic are the group 5 elements. Means group 5 elements means they have got five valence electrons into their outermost shell. Okay. And group 3 elements means they have got only 3 electrons into their outermost shells. Okay. Now, the phosphorus, which is a group 5 element, is called a donor impurity because it donates an electron that is free to move. We'll see in the schematic that when a group 5 element, which has got five electrons into their outermost shell, when that element is covalent bonded with the silicon atom, which has only got 4 electrons, the silicon has got only 4 electrons into its outermost shell, and the group 5 element, whether it is the phosphorus or arsenic, whatever we are doping it with, it has only got the only 5 electrons into its the outermost shell. When they are covalent bonded, so the silicon which has got only 4 electrons into outermost shell will covalent bonded with the 4 electrons of what? The phosphorus element. So, but phosphorus has got 5 elements. It means 4 electrons of phosphorus and 4 electrons of what? Silicon. They will make a covalent bond, and the 5th electron of phosphorus that will be remained as it is. That will act as a free electron moving in that semiconductor, extrinsic semiconductor device. That is why it means what? The phosphorus atom is called donor impurity, because it is donating an extra electron to the semiconductor, because it donates an electron that is free to move, and which is free to move. That is why in extrinsic semiconductor, which is an n-type semiconductor, we can see that the number of electrons is more than the number of holes present in that, because the impurity which is added, like the phosphorus or the arsenic, is providing an extra electron to the atom. Okay. The boron has, in the next line you can see that the boron, which is a group 3 element, has accepted a valence electron. It is therefore called the acceptor impurity, because the boron has only 3 electrons into its outermost shell, and silicon has 4. The 3 electrons of boron will be covalent bonded with what? The 3 electrons of the silicon atom, and the one space is left behind, that the 4th electron of silicon will not be covalent bonded with any of the electrons which is present, because boron has got only 3 electrons which is covalent bonded with the other 3 electrons of the silicon, and only one valence electron is present in that silicon atom, that will be unbonded, that will not be bonded with any of the electrons. So the space that is created, that will be acted as what? The acceptor ion. That will accept an extra electron if it is getting from anywhere, means it is called the acceptor impurity. This is the n-type semiconductor, in which you can see that these are the silicon atoms, and in the middle of, you can see the phosphorus, which has got the extra electrons. The 4 electrons of the phosphorus are covalent bonded with the four what? The silicon atoms. But the extra electron of phosphorus is, here you can see that is moving freely, means it is an extra electron, and so because of which it is making more negative, it is making this semiconductor more negative. That is why it is called negative type semiconductor or the n-type semiconductor. And this is the p-type semiconductor. You can see that boron has only got 3 electrons into its outermost shell, and only all the 3 electrons of the boron is what? Covalent bonded with the 3 electrons of silicons. But this, here you can see that there is a space created, means that there only the electron, the 4th electron, this electron of silicon is not covalent bonded with any of the electrons of boron because there is no presence of any more electrons in the outermost shell of the boron. So this space is created, means it will act as an acceptor impurity or accepted electrons. Okay. Now, till now, what I have taught to you till now, we'll go through it as a review tomorrow. Tomorrow it is a Sunday, but I'm planning to take class, and we'll go next to what was introduction to the semiconductor devices, what is p-n diode and all the things, p-type and type semiconductors materials. Okay, right now I'm shutting it down here only, and I'm just signing off. Arno, likewise, you have given the attendance yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Hana? Today also you just mail me or just WhatsApp me and put it into a group also. ठीक है?
ठीक है
Okay.
सर ग्रुप में आप देंगे
नहीं ग्रुप में आप ही भेजिए ना जैसे आप भेजते हैं हर क्लास में.
ठीक ठीक
Okay. Okay class.
ओके
Thank you.
सर एक मिनट ठीक है स्क्रीनशॉट ले लें
हाँ ले लो.